Eagles! Eagles! Off to a 1-0 start after a close, ugly, hard-fought contest in Foxborough. It definitely didn't play out the way I think a lot of us thought it would. And I don't know if I speak for the rest of Eagles Nation, but damn, I think our egos got bruised heavily in that game against the Patriots. Like, when your team jumps out, I know I've said this before in the post game video, but when your team jumps out to an early 16-0 lead, cashing in on 2 turnovers, they just looked so dominant from the start. You think to yourself, oh, they're going to win this game easily. They're going to run all over New England. And that wasn't the case. Bill Belichick, you overlook the fact that he's still there. Like, the Patriots are past their prime. They've had their fun in the sun. Those days are done. But Belichick is still there, and he's still going to make that team at least formidable, which they were. So the Patriots garnered huge respect with the effort they put up after falling behind 16-0, fighting all the way back and coming up short to the Eagles by 5. The Birds hang on to win 25-20, and boy, let me tell you, it took the whole team effort to win that game. I want to start by apologizing to our defensive unit. I definitely overreacted. I was a little overcritical, threw them under the bus, and after I rewatched the highlight package, I thought, you know what? The defense was a little better than I gave them credit for. Yeah, they can't be perfect on every freaking down, but they definitely made stops when they needed to. I will say that much. But I tell you what, for as good as that pass rush is, and as good as that secondary is, the Patriots showed that they still have problems covering the middle of the field. Like, my God. How many times did Hunter Henry burn them in the middle of the field? I mean, I was just, like, pulling my hair out, going like, come on, guys, tighten up. But like I said, they did improve their special teams coverage. They got burned a couple times on returns early, and they immediately tightened that up. So let's hope they don't have to go through that the rest of the season. Would be nice. A note that as I said, it was a total team effort, and Jake Elliott was my player of the game, and the NFL pretty much thought the same thing, as Elliott was awarded the NFC Team Special Teams Player of the Week for his 4 made field goals. He may not be Justin Tucker, but that guy is clutch. As I said, he was 4 for 4 on field goals, all of them from beyond 30-plus yards. He had 2 50s in there, the longest being 56 and the shortest being 32. I mean, come on. It's Jake Elliott. This guy nailed a 61-yarder in his rookie season that prevailed the Eagles to a win over the New York Giants back in the year when they won the Super Bowl, his rookie campaign. You can't start off any better than that, and that guy has been reliable ever since, thank God. Anywho, the rust definitely was there for Jalen Hurts. Some questionable decision-making. However, you can either blame that to him or the play calling. You decide. But either way, the rust was there, so hopefully he shook that off. And despite the 1 turnover, he was semi-mistake free for the entire game. So it wasn't pretty by any means. Not the way we would have liked. We definitely would have liked to see them just smack the Patriots around because, it was Tom Brady Day. I'll bet that's what inspired the Patriots to play a little better. And, hey, the Eagles still won it. They still spoil the festivities. But, it definitely feels like the Patriots kind of won the battle. But they didn't. The Eagles got the W. It wasn't pretty, but football's not pretty. It's not supposed to be. So, all right. The Birds start off 1-0, and now it's on to Thursday Night Football, a short week for the Birds, and they welcome in, for the second straight year, to open up the home schedule on primetime football, the Minnesota Vikings. Excuse me. Why is it that every time that the Vikings are on the Eagles' schedule, they always got to play them week 2 in primetime? As the home opener, no doubt. No less. I don't know if the NFL's trying to really push this into making us think there's a rivalry between the Eagles and the Vikings. I personally don't think there is. I hold no animosity toward Minnesota or their fan base, but they may not feel the same. I'm starting to see that there's a lot of people that really don't like the Eagles or us fans. So, you know, as Jason Kelsey once said, "Fuck them." But yeah, so on paper, you would think that the Eagles shake off the offseason rust, got that out of the way in New England, gritted their teeth, held on for the win, and now here comes an 0-1 Vikings team that fell at home to the Baker Mayfield Bucks. Now, last year, the Eagles pretty much dominated the Vikings. They led 24-7. Was it 24-0 at the half? I can't remember. But anyway, the Eagles put up 24 points in the first half, and the defense pretty much kept the game in check the rest of the way. They won the game 24-7. I don't think it's going to be... I don't think the Eagles are going to walk away with this win either. If anything, this is going to be another close game. It's going to be another dogfight, because the Eagles have several key injuries that may come back to bite them on this one, especially with Nakobe Dean on the IR. He's going to be out for a few weeks. You have Bradbury, Blankenship, and Gainwell all listed out. Bradbury with a concussion, Blankenship, Gainwell, both with ribs, and Fletcher Cox is listed as questionable, also dealing with ribs. So it's like, ugh. And you got a Vikings team coming in that's definitely going to look to not want to go 0-2, and definitely probably remembering what happened to them last year when they played the Eagles. So, yeah, I expect a tougher fight from the Vikings this time around, and it should be close. I still have the Birds coming out on top. If Jalen Hurts can get his legs under him, play mistake-free football, not turn the ball over at all, if any time, just once again, like he did with New England, no more than once, I feel the Birds should win this. They definitely know they can rely on Jake Elliott. They have the home crowd. They're going to be pumped, welcome in the defending NFC champions. So I feel like that momentum should be enough. Even though Cox may be questionable, they'll still have Graham. Carter definitely made his presence felt week 1. So I think he's going to be eager to introduce himself to Kirk Cousins. Even though I don't think Kirk is a guy that can deliver a Super Bowl, but he's definitely been a thorn in the Eagles' side for quite some time. So don't sleep on him. As long as the pass rush can shake him up a little bit, we ought to be good. Not having Blankenship or Bradbury in the secondary, that is concerning, especially with the league's top receiver coming in and Justin Jefferson. And the fact that the Eagles still can't cover the middle of the field, that worries me. So if the Vikings can just attack the middle of the field and wear that defense down, then we better pray the offense puts up points, because I think the defense is going to need them to step it up this week. Wholeheartedly. But, as I said, I still feel like the Eagles should come out on top of this one. I'm going to say at best 27-17 Philadelphia. So let's go, Birds. Let's get the first home win of the season and start off 2-0, because you're going to need it. Because the Cowboys, that defense, you better believe they fucking scare me. It may have been the Giants, but shit. That was a statement win, and yeah, I guarantee you Dallas has both matchups with Philadelphia marked on that calendar, double, triple lined even. And we definitely can't sleep on the Commanders, or the Commies, or the Washers, or whatever the hell you want to call them. Can't sleep on them either. I feel at best they're just a wild card team, but they're definitely a fucking pest as always. Alright, so that is my take on what I think should happen in the Eagles-Vikings game. Again, I feel it's going to be close. The Vikings, for their game plan of attack the Eagles' middle. Just get Justin Jefferson open in the middle. You ought to be okay. And for the Eagles, well, your offensive strategy, try to get that running game going. Because without Gainwell, yike. Like, Swift and the rest of them just did not look good. So that's either credit to the Patriots defense or just you guys are rusty and still trying to work out some kinks. So yeah, I think the Eagles need to get the run game going a little bit to open up the passing, but they still have A.J. Brown and a plethora of other guys. We really didn't hear much of Dallas Goedert last week, but again, that's just credit to New England's defense tightening up. So if Minnesota can reciprocate that, might be a long night for the Birds. But offense, you need to pick it up. Help out your defense. You should be fine. Play to your strengths. All right, let's move on and see how I think the rest of the league is going to do throughout week 2. All right, so we got the Green Bay Packers going to Atlanta. I feel like the Packers should win this game. Might be a close one. Not sure if it was just, them wanting to pounce on the Bears. But after the performance by Jordan Love and company, I like the Packers more in this game. And again, if I pick Atlanta, they're just going to lose. They always do. Every time I pick the Falcons, they freaking lose. So I'll just do them a favor and not pick them at all this year. So go Green Bay Packers, go Jordan Love. I just picked him up, dropped Kenny Pickett. So Jordan Love is now my backup to Joe Burrow in my fantasy league. Although I might want to consider switching because, the Bengals are going to be hosting the Ravens. And we saw how well the Bengals did in Cleveland. Now here comes another AFC North rival that likes to play defense. That's the thing about the AFC North. They really don't like giving up points. And even though the Ravens are really dinged up, and even though we all feel the Bengals should find a way to bounce back, I certainly hope so, because I might still start Joe Burrow, or I might go to Jordan Love. Who knows? Throw caution to the wind. But it's hard to tell. The Bengals are everybody's favorite, but even though the Ravens are dinged up, it's still a division rival. And they still got Lamar Jackson. But that was my argument for the Kansas City Chiefs having Patrick Mahomes. So, oh boy, this should be a close game. It's definitely going to be a dogfight. Good classic AFC North rivalry. I'm going to pick the Bengals. I like Joe Burrow more. He's on my fantasy team. But it's going to be close. Like, probably a 3-point game that most likely Justin Tucker will be the deciding factor if the Ravens win. I got the Buffalo Bills over the Las Vegas Raiders. Bills home opener, so you would think they definitely want to put on a better show for the home crowd than what they did a couple nights ago in the Meadowlands, because damn. Like, again, I'm going to say it again. How did you lose that game, Buffalo? You knocked down Aaron Rodgers. You should have ran away with that one. And you blew it. And yeah, that was mainly all Josh Allen. So that guy has some question marks to answer. They better get him, and he better get him fixed real quick. The Bills should win this game because fuck Las Vegas. I just despise their owner and their head coach. I got nothing against Garoppolo, but he's listed as questionable. And oh my god, I just looked at it. Is it Javari Aiken or something? No, it doesn't sound right. Well, anyway, he was my top receiver in fantasy. He's questionable. Wow, I'm drawing blanks on the receiver names right now. So I'm just going to move on. Bills should win. Should. Who knows? Hopefully the dust of week 1 has settled. And maybe we get a little more stability in week 2. All right, this ought to be a good one. Seahawks at the Lions. And after the Lions knocked off the defending world champs, Ford Field will probably be the loudest it has ever been in its history, welcoming in the Detroit Lions at home for the first time in 2023, who are off to a very emphatic 1-0 start. And I think it's safe to say they're going to go 2-0. Maybe the Seahawks might give them a bit of a fight. You can't quite sleep on them. But after how bad they looked against the Rams, I think it might be the same performance in Detroit. Lions should definitely come away with this victory. Chargers and Titans. It's in Nashville. Both teams are 0-1. And unfortunately, the Chargers just know how to lose big games. However, the Titans aren't really that much better. Not with Ryan Tannehill. So, and the Titans are questionable, have a lot of questionables at their receiver position. So, Chargers, you should get your first win here. But you're not a safe bet because you guys just like to lose. I don't get it. You have all that damn talent and you find ways to lose. I guess that's just blame your coaching staff. I don't know. But I'll give it to the Bolts. Bolts get their first win in Nashville. The Chicago Bears and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Well, sorry, Dad. I got to pick the Bucs. This should be a close game. I mean, the Bears might be able to pull this one out. It just depends if they can get over their shellacking from Green Bay. But I don't know. I think we saw what we're going to get from the Bears all year. So I'll give the Baker Mayfield Bucs the edge here. Definitely like the swagger Baker showed in that Week 1 win at Minnesota. So Buccaneers. AFC Divisional Rematch. Kansas City and Jacksonville. Chiefs are heavy favorites, but I think we're underestimating the Jaguars a little bit. Sure, Jones is coming back for the Chiefs, but we're not sure about Kelsey yet. But my gut's going with the Jaguars at home. Sure, yeah, everyone's going to say they had a close game with the Colts, but that's a division game. You know, the Colts give everybody trouble, okay? Let's not forget the Colts beat the Chiefs last year, okay? The Colts are a pest team. They give everybody trouble. And the way the Jaguars held their own against Kansas City last year, nearly knocking them out in the playoffs, I'd like to think Doug Peterson is going to say the right things. He's a good rallying coach. I like him, miss him, but hey, he got us a Super Bowl. Happy for that. And we've had to move on. So, getting off of that, I'm getting off the track here. But yeah, you can tell there's a little favoritism in here. Yeah, I like the Jaguars to pull off a stunner against the Chiefs. Should the Chiefs bounce back and win? Well, absolutely. I mean, it's not like they lost by a ton of points to the Lions. They could still win this game, but my gut likes the Jaguars. So look for the Jags to send the Chiefs to 0-2. And even if the Chiefs do start out 0-2, don't count them out, because we've seen several teams start 0-2 and go on and win the Super Bowl. Colts at Texans. Well, anybody in their right mind has no interest in this game because the Texans suck. They're going to be in the basement. Colts are going to be the third best team in that. Oh, wait, no, the Titans are much better. Okay, so the Colts are fighting the Titans for second place in that division. So I'll give the Colts the edge here. Not by much. That's all I got to say. I really got no interest in this game. You know, if anybody's got Anthony Richardson or C.J. Stroud in their fantasy team, have fun. I've just got no interest in this rivalry right now. However, the next one I do, 49ers and the Rams. NFC West rivalry renewed. So the Rams, defended world champions from 2 seasons ago. 49ers back-to-back NFC runner-ups. And the way they looked against Pittsburgh, woof. I know a lot of people like Dallas in their defense, as well as Detroit, but I'm going to say I think the 49ers are the more balanced of the two. So I got to think they're going to manhandle the Rams. Sure, yeah, the Rams think they've got a shot. I mean, they always got a shot. They got a decent quarterback. They got 2 young stud receivers looking to break out. But they still got Aaron Donald on defense. But the 49ers are just fucking loaded, man. But it's a division game. Anything can happen in one of those. But I think San Francisco comes out on top. And I say they win by double digits. Giants at the Cardinals. I think the main question is, can the Giants score any points? If they can at least get on the board, they can go from there. I mean, you can't start off any worse. So the only place left to go is up. In all honesty, this game could go either way, but I'll give the edge to New York slightly. Again, you can't start off any worse than they did. The Commies and the Broncos. Broncos are the favorites, and I should take Denver, but my gut says Washington. Again, it's a game that can go either way, and if Russell Wilson and the Broncos have truly moved on from last year, I think this game will tell if they're a little better than before. Hopefully, we see a different score other than 17-16. Am I right, Broncos fans? Alright, now we've gotten to the other primetime matchups. Sunday Night Football. Dolphins and Patriots. This rivalry renewed. And I tell you what, if Bill Belichick and his defense can reciprocate what they did to my Eagles week 1, they ought to slow up this Miami Dolphin offense just as well. Because, Tua's like Hurts. He's got 2 damn good receivers. I'm not sure about the tight end. I'm not sure about the ground game either. So I really think this is going to be another close game. That if Mac Jones can play the way he did last week, I think the Patriots have a very good chance of maybe pulling a stunner here. But I'm still going to go with Miami. I still say a close game. I'll even say the near exact same score. Dolphins 24, Patriots 20. The Monday Night Football doubleheader. Saints and Panthers. This ought to be a close game. Bryce Young, company, going up against Derek Carr and the Saints. I'm giving the edge to New Orleans slightly. It ought to be a close one. It still ought to be interesting. I mean, the NFC South is always interesting to watch. More so than the AFC South. And then finally, Browns at Steelers. This should be a low-scoring game. It's an AFC North matchup, but I don't know how I feel about the Steelers now, because you guys looked bad at home against San Fran, and the Browns looked really good against Cincinnati, and I could see it playing out the same exact way. That'll be a low-scoring game, but I'll tell you what, if Cleveland doesn't take their foot off the gas, it's going to be a long night for you, Pittsburgh. I hate to say it, but I'm giving the edge to the Browns, too. So, hey, I'd like for you to prove me wrong. I got nothing against the Steelers. They're my mom's team, after all. But, we shall see. But, all right, that is going to do it for my Week 2 analysis for the Eagles and my picks. So, Let's hope week 2 is just as fun as week 1, although not quite as brutal or not quite as weird. All right, everybody have a good night and peace out. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to another victory. Eagles! Eagles!